Tashia Grace Burris, Secretary in charge of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Tobago House of Assembly, beautiful island of Tobago. So Tobago is literally an off-the-beaten-path type destination. The rest of the Caribbean is known for sun, sand, sea, all-inclusives, sexy bodies in bikinis. Tobago has a lot of that, but we have so much more. When you talk about biodiversity, we have one of the oldest protected rainforests in the Western Hemisphere. You can move from that to white sand, powdery sand, blue beaches. You can move from that to being underwater to one of the largest plain corals in the world is just off the coast of Speyside. We're 116 square miles waiting to be discovered. So for the traveler that exists in you, Tobago has something for everybody to enjoy. What God has blessed us with, so what we have created, our culture, our heritage, our festivals, our events, our parties are off the chain. From our food, Tobago has everything for someone who is looking for something different when they come to the Caribbean. So for one, we just started having our standalone carnival in October, and that was just under 2 weeks ago. Man, it is the greatest street party that you can experience while reveling in paradise. We had 30,000 people in our streets playing from mud mass early in the morning on Saturday morning, going into our Juve celebration, parading next to our beaches, perfect weather 360 days of the year, to playing our pretty mass and showcasing from the fine to the fluffy. There's a space for everyone. So that is my top attend event on the calendar. Second thing is, if you come to Tobago, you have to go to a good harvest festival. A lot of people don't know what harvest is, and it's one of our best kept secrets. Well, let me give you a little insight. Harvest is celebrated throughout Tobago, different communities at different times of the year. So almost every other weekend for the entire calendar year, every community celebrates what is known as a harvest festival. And essentially what it does is a celebration of the harvest. The farmers in that community, they would grow their crops, they will take the first of their crops, they will go to the church and they will have it blessed. And then after that, the entire community cooks up a storm. So you have every household cooking marvelous dishes, drinks galore, and you are able to go throughout the entire community and visit any household and eat and drink as much as you want. And take away if you want to, and come back the next day and they cook again and you have something called prop over. So Harvest Festival is something that we celebrate as part of our indigenous Tobago culture. And it's not something that tourists know a lot about, but I'm telling you that once you come as a tourist and you get that taste of the harvest food, some of the best cooks on the island, you will always want to come back and you will understand why we've had to keep it a secret for so long. And the third thing that I think that anybody who's visiting Tobago has to experience is crab and goat races at Easter time. Now, you know about horse racing. Everybody knows what horse racing gives, and there's a huge industry betting about horses and stuff. But have you ever raced goats? And trust me, goat racing is a lot harder than it looks. Goat racing involves us breeding goats specifically for races. So this is not goat to put in a roti. It's not that kind of goat. It's the type of goats that are bred like thoroughbred goats. So they're like thoroughbred horses, and they're fed a special diet. And the jockeys themselves train as much as Olympic sprinters. Because the idea of winning the race is not just about your goat getting over the finish line. You, the jockey, also has to get over the finish line holding your goat. And holding a goat to try to run in a straight line, as I said, is no easy feat. It's something that you need to see. And what we also have alongside that is crab racing. And again, don't knock it until you've tried it. Crab racing involves us tying a string to one of our big blue or brown crabs that we get from the river. And you have a little stick as the jockey, and you have to convince that crab to go over the finish line. So that if you are thinking about sports, don't think about Olympics. Crab and goat racing in Tobago is a must-see. Our largest challenge is actually interconnectivity. And it's something that we always talk about at the level of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, that we're able to get international airlines to fly from our major source markets into the Caribbean, but we're having a challenge connecting to each other's backyards. In other words, it shouldn't be more expensive for me to go from Tobago to Grenada versus if I fly from Tobago to Miami. And this is a conversation that we've been having for a number of years. And it really takes collective will for us to be able to decide as a Caribbean region that we're going to take a decision to ensure that we can provide the connectivity that we need to so that we could encourage multi-destination travel as well as inter-regional travel, because we're sleeping on ourselves as one of our main source markets. We always talk about the United States, we talk about Canada, we talk about the UK, but the Caribbean has a huge opportunity for us to support each other's tourism trust and be able to visit each other's backyard. And the way to do that is to ensure that we can prioritize connectivity from each other's destinations within the Caribbean. So if you want to grow some hair on your back and you don't mind getting some alcohol, there's something called Rude Boy and Punchin, which is one of the strongest rums in the Caribbean. That combination will certainly get you to grow some hair in places you don't have. But if you're not into the alcohol, Tobago has some of the best drinking chocolate as well as coffee. We have our premier chocolatier coffee makers, Tonshi Chocolates. That coffee will give you the caffeine punch you're looking for, smooth blend, toasty taste, and our drinking chocolate, second to none, better than Cadbury. Those are my two drinks of choice. Caribbean superpower is our Sunsan Sea rum and everything else in between. The Lord knew what he did when he created the Caribbean. There is no place on earth like us, and if you've never visited, that means you're missing half of your life, so come and get it in the Caribbean, specifically in Tobago. Tobago, one Caribbean, many unique experiences.